Okay, so next I'd like to invite up Alejandra Espinosa. She is our Campus Life Director, and she's going to be sharing some information with you.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. How are we doing? Good. Am I too short? You can see me? Yes, I brought my heels on today, so I'm pretty tall. Okay, so yes, thank you, Angelica. My name is Alejandra Espinosa. I go by Ale. I'm the Campus Life and Student Learning Manager here at MJC. I also am an MJC alum. I did graduate in 2011. Yes, 2011. And I've been here since then, I feel like, on and off, and now as an employee. MJC is a great place to be, and today I brought two MJC alum that have been graciously enough to come by this morning and share a little bit about their success story. They're both already UC Davis grads. One of them is already in grad school, the other one's about to start grad school. And so I want you guys to hear from them all the cool things that MJC did for them. So the first one that's going to be coming up, her name is Priscilla Onkma.
Good morning, everyone. To be quite honest with you, I thought this was going to be a Q&A panel. She's like, you got 10 minutes. Oh boy. It's been a minute. So I just wanted to start off by saying that it's such a pleasure and an honor to come back here. It feels like I'm coming back home. I live in Antigua, grew up in Antigua from Sierra High School, back in 2016. And I wanted to share a little bit about my journey, how I got here, what I've learned, what I've overcome, and what MJC has done for me overall. So I was part of a class that were high achievers. So a lot of my friends were going to UC, Ivy Leagues, and all that great stuff. And I really wanted to be part of that. But I was really scared because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had an idea who I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, but I didn't know professions and majors and all that crazy stuff. And there was a lot of misconception around community colleges. I always used to think that community colleges weren't real colleges, because that's what I grew up learning, which was unfortunate because it's not true. So I decided to go to MJC and take some time to really learn what I wanted to do, what career options were there, and just learn more about myself. It probably was the best decision I've ever made. I still look back at my experience here, and I always tell people, hey, like, community college is not bad. I learned this, this, and that. And they're like, wow, you make it sound wonderful. I'm like, it was. It was great. So once I took a couple classes here, and I learned, I majored in psychology, and I started learning a little bit about the field of counseling. So right now I'm a therapist training in NFT, so I know that can kind of relate to you guys in counseling area fields, and we'll talk about that later. But once I kind of got into here and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was trying to figure out what classes to take, how long it was going to take me to get out of here, then I kind of got to that mindset that I should really just take a breath and really make this what I want it to be. So I told myself that I wasn't going to get involved in anything, because I did that all in high school and I was done with it. I was tired, I just wanted to get through, graduate, and transfer. Then I remember meeting Ale a while ago. I was like, oh, don't look for anything, it's going to take up your time, like kind of distract you and all that stuff, but it is a lie. I ended up joining Sci-Chi, Metcha, MJC, and I think another one. So it was quite a few clubs and also campus life. So the one major thing that I learned from MJC is, well, two things. Support and diversity, which I have never had such an appreciation for before coming to MJC. I was able to learn from other students that were going through the same struggles I was going through. We were having like little life crises of who we wanted to be, what we wanted to major in, where we were going. And once I had that support from not only our mentors, but also from each other as students in the program, I learned that I wasn't alone. and that we were supporting each other. And now I value how important that is because, yes, we can have time in life, but some people don't have time in life, and that's unfortunate. But once we appreciate the things that we don't have and what we have, it motivates us to be better people. And being a part of something bigger than myself was eye-opening. It was great, it was wonderful, and I got to learn and appreciate culture, adversity, growth, self-efficacy, determination, and most importantly, compassion. And I think also teamwork was important with ASMJC because whenever there was something going on with one teammate, we felt it. It was like a whole ripple that we could tell that someone's rhythm was off. And checking in with each other's mental health was also very important to us. And I didn't realize how much of a family we were to become. And now that I find myself sitting and kind of struggling where I'm at today, just in general, I always look back at my experience and who I've become in that journey. And like we were talking about earlier, destination is not as important than the journey. Because I value more of who we become in that journey rather than who we're going to become at the station. Because we can become anybody at the end of everything. But it's what we learn and who we were and what we're changing about ourselves and our growth through that journey. And that's what I got to learn here at MJC and also ASMJC. So fast forward, graduation. It's really devastating because I had to leave here. So when I graduated, I transferred to Davis. Whole different environment. Wasn't gonna get involved there. I did get involved there. Not student government per se, but kind of like sorority life and clubs, academic career clubs as well. So, and to be honest, it didn't compare to MJC. Academic-wise, wonderful, great campus. Didn't have the mentors I had as I did here. The support quite different. There's a whole group of students that you have to cater to at a huge university there, so it's quite different. But it's what you make of it. So I try to keep that mindset and what I've learned here, and what they've taught me, and carry that throughout my academic success and challenges at Davis. And that's probably what pulled me through. Because first year transfer, it was rough. I was considering dropping out a couple times and thought I couldn't do it. But I remember the lessons that I learned here and at ASMJC that we can overcome anything and we just have to put our mind through it. Because if that person can do it, I can do it. And I also distinctly remember speakers coming at MJC talking about their success stories and things that they overcame and how inspiring it was, because there is no timeline, there is no rush, there is no time frame to do things. You just have to do it when you're ready. And even when you're uncomfortable, that's when you need to make a change. That's when you need to push through. So graduating, fast forward Davis, now I'm in a grad program. I promise I'm not part of anything big there, I promise. It's mostly online, but now I'm training as a marital family therapist. I do training in Lodi. And a lot of the things I've learned throughout my career, I also apply in my setting of practice. And I have kiddos, ages from 7 to 18, that they're always asking me, how was high school for you? Or like, what should I do here? What should I do there? And I kind of share my experience, and they had the same idea about community college as I did. They were discouraged from it. They didn't really think about it. They're like, I don't want to go there. I think it's not a great school, like within, I would say MJC and also Delta. So I kind of talked about what they offer and what I've learned and what I gained from that experience, and now they have a whole different worldview of what it entails and what they're going to get out from it. Not to say that it's not a bad idea not to go to a community college, but it's not a bad decision. So I just wanted to kind of pinpoint that the values and my skills that I apply today were because of what I've learned here. And yeah, there's there's 2 minutes. I also wanted to highlight that a lot of the challenges specifically that I was struggling with was was I good enough? I know a lot of kiddos within high school age too, they're going through a little bit of identity crisis, just learning through each other socially, adapting behaviors and learning who they are. And what ASMUC really cultivates that. They kind of help you foster the skills that they don't realize they have. And even if they don't want to get involved, I've met colleagues in ASMUC that weren't as involved as I was, and they didn't really want to be there half the time. But by the end, when we graduated, I noticed how different a person they were. Like, they were more giving, they were more willing to help out. They didn't want to leave. So that to me just tells me that the investment and the dedication that the staff and our mentors have here, that they genuinely love what they do. And I think that's what separates them from the rest of the groups I've ever met in my life. That it's the love, the appreciation, and also the journey and who they are today and how they apply it to where they're going. And they're trying to give those tools to us. And I think that's the most important part about figures in kids' lives, is giving us the tools and sharing what we've learned, and also being genuinely into what they're doing. Because kids and adults, you can tell when someone's not passionate about what you do. You kind of radiate that energy, and you kind of see that in the work that you put in. So I definitely saw that work and what they put in, and I really appreciate the experience I've had. And I thank you again for allowing me to share my experience today. It's a little rough, but it's genuine from the heart, so I appreciate the time today. So thank you.
Thank you, Priscilla. So our next speaker is also another MJC alum. ASMJC, as Priscilla was mentioning, is the Associate Students of Medicine Junior College, so it's our student government, our student leaders on campus. And so Daisy is also an MJC alum and graduate from UC Davis. So please help me welcome Daisy Lopez.
Hello. I'm sorry, I'm kind of nervous. I don't usually speak, and I honestly thought this was going to be in a classroom, so I got a little shocked. Okay, so originally I came from Central Valley High School. Oh yeah, hi! Yay! Sorry. So originally I came from Central Valley High School. My goal when I was in high school was that I wanted to transfer to Davis. Davis is so beautiful, they have great food, I recommend visiting, it's really nice there. But I wanted to transfer over there, or not transfer, just go directly to the 4-year. But they rejected me, so, yeah, no, it's okay. No, so when they rejected me, my second plan was then to go to Stanislaus, It's a nice CSU, like, I won't lie. But I was heartbroken that I didn't get into it. And so my parents told me, oh, you know what, you should probably just go to MJC. And obviously, I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to go. But I had a cousin who actually came to MJC, graduated, went to CC Stan, got a bachelor's in social work, and she convinced me to come. She told me you get a lot of help, there's great counselors there, great teachers, you should consider applying. So eventually, when I did apply to MJC, I did not feel it at first. I was kind of bored. I didn't really consider it a place where I felt I can grow. I thought I was ready to go to a 4-year. I wanted to experience that really badly. But then I met a bunch of different people, and one of them that I still hold dear to my heart today is Alejandra. She helped me realize that, coming to MJC is kind of like a clean slate. And I was a very different person when it came to MJC, like considering how I was in high school. I didn't do any clubs, activities. I just stayed in the classroom eating lunch with my friends. So having the opportunity to join ASMUC and do a bunch of different things like work for the community, I get to learn how the whole school system works. I thought that was fascinating. I thought it was a really great segue for me to learn how to care about coming into a school, about learning about the different people who work there and appreciating what they do. It was a great journey for me, honestly. and I met a lot of great counselors here. I wish they were here today, but the trio program here at MJC, amazing. Claudia and Carolina, I hope they hear my shout out somewhere. They're amazing counselors, and they really, really helped me set my goals to be able to transfer in 2 years. They were very communicative. They really showed me different programs and ways to join and learn about transferring and just getting ready to head to that 4-year again. And then I started considering, well, you know what, MJC honestly isn't bad. Like, they have great classes here. I learned so much in my social classes here. And a lot of great teachers. I had a great time with MJC. They really, really helped me create a community, one that I never had in high school. I never knew that I could have one. And like Priscilla said, we learned a lot about how to be a close-knit family. We did learn a lot about teamwork, about caring for others, caring for the community around you. It was just a great experience, and I really, really hope the students that are coming from your high schools really are able to venture out and do clubs or different community projects or just anything that they're interested in. Because it really is a great opportunity at MJC to be able to just venture out and do your own thing like I did. And I was very grateful for my past self for having the motivation and honestly just being brave enough to do that, because that does take a lot from someone as introverted as me to be able to go out and meet new people, experience new things, and have that help you grow as a person. But I feel like I kind of veered off what I was originally talking about. But going back, so I majored in psychology here in MJC, and my first thought was like, okay, I want to become a pediatrician. I really like science, I love biology, I was really into anatomy in high school, so that was my first idea. I did chemistry, that did not work out. So I changed it. I then went to go talk to counselors, and I was like, you know what, honestly, it's kind of hard. I don't think I can keep up with the work, so what should I do? And then they veered me to psychology. And from there, that's where I really started learning more about the whole psych world. I thought it was fascinating. It also helped that in high school I had a really great psychology teacher, so shout out to Mr. Fredrickson. And I really just liked the type of work that I was doing, and after talking to counselors like Claudia, Carolina, Alejandra, I then realized I really like the type of work that they're doing, so then I considered going into counseling as well. So that was a really great first point experience, learning the type of work that they do, seeing how they do it. And I feel like that would really help a lot of students coming into MJC who probably aren't sure what type of jobs that they're looking for, or really their end goal in life, or just overall, what do you want to do, Because it's a really big question, and especially as high schoolers, you don't really know what to say most of the time. Or you have an idea, but then you don't realize that idea that you have changes over time. Like a lot of students who come into MJC, their majors change at least 2 to 3 times. And you might feel guilty for doing that, but it's just natural. And that's something that I kind of also realized in MJC as well, that it's okay to question what you want to do. It's okay to change your mind, to think about doing something else. And MJC really gave me that freedom to do that. So, and the support as well. So I really, really appreciate the type of people that were there for me at the time. So after, a year or so of majoring in psychology, sociology, then I had to pick where I wanted to transfer to. So then obviously I was like, oh, I can go to Davis now, so that's really cool. And I did, I applied, I got in, I was super happy. But then, nearing the last couple months at MJC, I realized, oh, I'm gonna be alone. I'm not gonna have the same people that I have here in MJC, the people who were there for me, who watched me cry, who saw me do amazing things, who saw me, complete all my classes and just learn a lot. So that was a really big thing that I had to deal with when I had to eventually transfer over. And it just made me super, super grateful that I ended up coming to MJC. It really was a great transition period for me. It made me realize that I did need the time to grow, to think about doing the things that I wanted to do, and having the freedom, again, the support that these people gave me. Because I don't know if I would have had the same experience in Davis. I mean, who knows, But at the same time, like, I'm very grateful for what I experienced at MJC. And I hope a lot of other students get to experience that same thing that I went through. Because obviously everyone's different, but still, you know, like, there's a really great support system at MJC, great teachers who really motivate you, push you. Like, I had a social teacher who wanted me to do the honorary program right before I was leaving. I was like, darn, like, why didn't you tell me earlier, you know? Like, that would have been great on my resume. But, so yeah, so I really hope that students get to experience the same thing that I went through. Because it really helped push me through Davis. And even though, like, kind of like Priscilla said, it really was a hard transition coming from a community college where everything is kind of like at a, not slow pace, but you are able to gather your bearings versus a 4-year where everything's very quick, especially the quarter system. Like, that was very, very hard to get, like, the rhythm of it. It took me at least a year to get used to that. But because I had support back at MJC, like, I would email my counselors or talk to people and be like, hey, like, this is kind of hard. Like, I don't know if you have any advice that you can give me. They were there for me still, even when I was gone. So, yeah, it was really, how much time did I have? Okay, I don't have my glasses either, so okay, but yeah, so NGC is a really great school. There are people who care about you, people who really want you to do your best. They will keep you on track in order to either transfer, go into a technical vocation. There's a great nursing program here, a lot of great people who will help you counsel and get you through a lot of things. And they will be there for you when you need it the most. And they will be a great segue for a lot of things that you probably don't think you're going to do in your life, like going to counseling. Like, I ended up counseling at Davis and in a student program. It was a great experience, and it will really help with my beginnings here at MJC. So yeah, I really hope that your students really enjoy being here, and if they have any questions too. I hope Ali is available, but anybody else that we have, like, I hope they're able to talk to them and get any information that they need. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. You know, as an educator, sometimes we really don't know how much of an impact we make on students until after they're gone. So just kind of felt really nice to kind of hear them out, you know. Okay, so now that we've heard how MJC really impacts a lot of our students' lives in a positive way, and how students can definitely grow from getting involved outside of the classroom, I want to do a quick commercial on campus life and student learning, and then we'll go into some of the things that you have in your program there. So campus life is all the extracurricular things that happen outside of the classroom. So we heard about ASMGC, our student leadership program. It's something that definitely teaches students to do things as a team. They mention a lot about family environment. They are the voice of the students of over 16,000 students here at MJC. So they learn a lot about that. We have clubs. How many of you guys have clubs in your high schools? We think all of you, right? Yeah. So right now we are in the process of definitely getting our club numbers back, because obviously we know that through the whole remote learning experience, some of our club numbers went down. But we just had Club Rush this last Wednesday, and it was a success. So I'm really happy about that. We also have student leadership programs such as Project Lead and Project Give. Project Lead, we partner up students with a mentor. They have different sessions and seminars, talking about leadership, conflict resolution, communication, networking. Project Give is a volunteer program, so they talked about community service. So how can we get our students, be part of the community and help out there in doing some volunteer work. And we also, out of campus, I also have commencement. And 3 large conferences. Does anybody know which conferences those are? So we have the Hispanic Education Conference, yes, the African American Education Conference, and the LGBTQ plus Pride Education Conference. So we have those 3 large conferences under campus stuff here at MJC, which we want all of you and all of your students to be part of that, because you're coming out pretty quick. So as promised, I wanted to talk about the Hispanic Education Conference that is actually in your program. So if you look in the back of the program, you'll see one of those flyers. I was talking to a couple of you guys before the program started, how I want to be able to connect with you guys. I want to be able to go talk to whoever I want to go talk to in your high school, so you get all of your students to this conference. This is considered one of the largest conferences in San Luis County. With the last one we had in person was close to 1,000 people here. We want your students at this conference. It's an opportunity for a lot of our first generation students to be on our campus, to be in a college campus. I don't know about you guys, but college is fun, right? I don't know how many of you guys actually had fun in college. Oh my! All right, too much I heard. Yes. So. Encourage our students that college is not boring. Yes, we do have challenges. Yes, we have to take statistics and all those hard chemistry classes. But at the same time, if we haven't experienced college in a fun way, they can definitely get more inspiring or encouraged to go. Right? It's not impossible. We do have the support. We have the ability to really get them excited about college. We have music. I don't know. Have anybody here have attended a Hispanic conference before? Yeah? Do you guys remember the banda? Yes. And the mariachi? Yes? She's like, yes, I remember that. So it gets really fun. It's really, really fun to to see all of our students here. Where's my Modesto High folks? Make some noise. So the last Hispanic conference in person, Modesto High brought about 500 students, I believe. That was so it was back in 2019. So that's a big chunk of students that came. So I remember that year, Modesto High won the champion award. So we do have some type of competition. So I'm curious to know in 2022 who's going to be the next high school that brings the most students to our conference and get that champion award. Because I'm hoping that all of you are getting excited. Anybody competitive? I hope so. No? Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So yeah. So let's connect. I really want to encourage you guys to work together with me and my team, so we can get those students out here at the Hispanic Education Conference. I mean, it's from 8:30 to 2 o'clock. We'll have our keynote speakers, somebody local. We'll have different workshops that focus on career, education, cultural. We definitely have a lot of entertainment as far as music and food, and we'll have a lot of a lot of good fun and information too for your students to come to our college. Sounds good?